What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you are new to the channel, my name is Parker Nirenstein, and this is Vehicle Virgins. If you missed the last couple videos, we've done some crazy things with the Z4. I just straight piped that, and my gosh, does it sound ridiculous with no exhaust system. Speaking of exhaust, however, I've got to change something on the Lamborghini. Avant-Garde Exotics made one of the best sounding exhausts I've ever heard on a Huracan. I was able to go on this rally where I heard 20 different Huracans next to each other and really decide which exhaust I like the best in person. Because when you hear exhausts online, even when I share videos of this car with you guys, it's really hard to tell what it actually sounds like, and pretty much all the recordings make it sound exactly like stock. But this one doesn't. Something, however, has rattled loose in my interior, and it is driving me nuts. So every time I'm on the gas a little bit, you hear this buzzing noise that, of course, it's right by my left ear, so it's 10 times louder than it is for anyone else in the car, but I'm gonna get that checked out today. Looking so clean, Ellie. I just washed Ellie. Oh. I also just got word that the new wheels are pretty much done. So not much longer with these basic, not the best looking standard Huracan wheels. I cannot wait to see what this bad girl looks like on those gorgeous Anarchy wheels that I got. Good morning, Mr. Z4. How are you doing today? I'm giving this Z4 away to a lucky pro member on my website, likegravity.com/pro. So pumped about this car. That's what I was looking for. But before we head out, I gotta give special thanks to Vava for not only sponsoring today's video, but also for creating the best dash cam I've ever used. Dash cams are obviously incredibly important in the case of an accident, and unfortunately, accidents do happen. 2 years ago, I let somebody drive my 2004 Lamborghini Gallardo, and tragically, they crashed it. Now, I wasn't actually anywhere near the vehicle, so I didn't even see the crash happen. When the driver told me what happened, he simply explained that the car went slightly off the road and it damaged the bumper a little bit. Well, thankfully, the car behind mine had a dash cam and it captured all of it on film to reveal that the Gallardo actually went airborne, slammed down, and had a lot more damage than what the eye could see from just imagining that the car went slightly off the road and damaged the bumper. Now, at the time, I didn't have a dash cam. It was so lucky that the person behind me did, and you bet, right after that moment, I got myself a dash cam. But please, ladies and gentlemen, don't wait until an accident happens to go, oh shoot, I should have gotten a dash cam. Get one as soon as possible. And I'm about to tell you why this Vava dash cam is the best one available on the market for a ridiculously low price. First off, the dash cam comes in really nice packaging. That's important to me with a quality product. Then you've got the dash cam itself here. This is the mounting device, which is super easy to use. It's a suction cup that you suction onto your windshield. But what I really like is it actually has a magnet here. You simply just plop on the dash cam and it actually rotates around so you can point it any direction you want. Now, my favorite use for dash cams honestly isn't even when the car is moving, it's when the car is parked. Let's say somebody hits your car and runs away. If you're not there, how are you gonna know who did it? Or somebody decides to key your car. Well, with the Vava dash cam, this thing actually runs even when the car is off. Now, most dash cams require you to buy an additional power supply so that it can keep going when the car is powered off. The additional power supplies are pretty expensive, by the way. The Vava dash cam actually has a built-in huge battery so it can run without an additional power source. And because the quality of the dash cam is so good, 1080p 60 frames per second, and is super wide angle, 155 degrees of viewing, you can not only capture faces, but license plates from long distances in case somebody tries to hit and run your car. Honestly, my favorite part of the camera is that it swivels. So if anything interesting happens inside the car, you can simply turn it facing you. It also has a really good audio recorder so you can capture fun moments if you're on a road trip. Speaking of fun moments, you've got this quick capture button that you can place anywhere in the interior. Click that, snapshot, takes a picture of whatever's going on. Guys, seriously, if you don't have a dash cam yet, it's time to get one. I wouldn't promote this thing if I didn't think it was awesome. The value you're getting, the quality of footage you're getting for the price is honestly ridiculous. So I've got a link in the description below for a huge discount on the dash cam. So if you want to get one, make sure to use that link and check out Vava. Let's get on with the video. It is so loud. And in typical Vehicle Virgins fashion, I am out of gas. Let's see if I can recreate the problem really quick for the camera. So when I rev it a little bit, or I'm, you know, actually accelerating, there's a noise, a rattling noise that happens right over here. It sounds like it's coming almost from where the seatbelt is. You really get on the gas, it seems like the entire car is rattling. We gotta get that changed. Another absolutely gorgeous day in Southern California. Oh, nice white M5 up there. All right, here we go, listen to this. Can you hear that? Buzz, 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 buzz. I swear, every time I drive this Huracan, I fall more and more in love with it. Took this thing on a little cruise with my girlfriend down to Malibu, through some windy roads, pushed it really hard, and especially on those new tires, this thing has grip for days. It is such a fun, rewarding car to drive, and knock on wood, it has been bulletproof, reliable the entire time, even with that VF 805 horsepower supercharger. That's some good engineering right there. Hopping on the freeway here. Figured I'd give you a little bit of a taste of that epic V10 goodness. Whoa, little wheel spin there. Guys, at this point, the E63 is so close, I can almost taste it. I'm receiving daily updates from my dealership back in Michigan on what the status of the car is, and I'm hoping in the next few days I'm gonna hear that incredible news that it is ready to be picked up. I absolutely can't wait. I think about 4 or 5 days ago, maybe even 6 days ago at this point, the car reached the port of Los Angeles, so it has to clear customs, and once it does that, the shipping company gets a notice. They ship it to this facility that goes over the car, make sure everything's all good. I imagine clean it too. Then it goes to a dealer nearby me, and I will go and pick the car up and finally take delivery. That is why I've done absolutely nothing about the rattles. It sounds so dang good that a couple little rattles here and there, they don't really matter, but figured it's time to get it fixed. Pulling up to Avant-Garde Exotics. Let's see what they've got in the parking lot. These guys literally always have some crazy stuff. We've got his awesome M3, a Gallardo with a questionable looking front bumper, a cop car, Murcielago. I just took the car for a spin around the block with Mark in the passenger seat, and of course, the first time in 2 weeks, the car doesn't actually make any rattling noises whatsoever, after I just demonstrated it to you guys on the camera 5 minutes before I showed up here. But I think they actually found the issue.
Superleggera, bro, the easy way.
Can I see the back of the panel? So I guess this pops in with a bunch of suction cups.
These ones are disconnected, which is why the whole panel is able to move. So we're gonna reset them because all they do is slide in.
Okay.
So when this panel's taken off for service, then these have to be reset, then it gets pushed down. If these things don't lock, then you might hear on that, so.
So why would someone remove that panel? You think for tuning reasons?
This is where your fuel tank is right here. So both of your saddle tanks, one's here, one's over there.
Gotcha.
So when the supercharger kit was done, the fuel tank mod, this is where you go into.
Gotcha, gotcha. The guys just taught me about some manual releases on the car if it runs out of battery. Now, the obvious one, which I knew about, was if you need to get in the car manually with the key, this cover here actually pops off, and then you can insert the key normally and open the door. However, unlike the Gallardo where it kind of slides off, apparently the secret is to stick your key in that little hole and twist it like this, and then it pops out easily. But the cool ones are over here behind this panel that's been removed. You can manually open the rear deck lid to see the engine bay with this little pull tab here. That popped that open. And then if you can't get your gas cap open, let's say that's locked shut, there's a little red tab here that you can pull on. And then finally, for the front trunk, around front here, up under there, above the brake pedal, there's a manual release for the front trunk, as opposed to the 2 buttons here for the front and the rear hatch. So another possible source of the problem is these Zeus fasteners tend to rattle if you hit the wrong resonance frequency
if you don't
against
have
the
Teflon.
plastic. And I guess one of mine is missing a Teflon piece.
Which is what we just gave.
Which is what we just added right here.
Which is also nice because they don't fall out.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't have them fall into the engine bay when you undo them. because these little Teflon washers lock them in.
The lovely part for this trial and error experience here is that it didn't make any noise when I actually took him for a ride. So if it leaves not making any noise, he both did his job well, and then we also don't know if it fixed the problem.
We warranty.
You warranty the work? Heck yeah. That right there is the gas tank release. Little lever guy there. They're still pretty convinced that it was this panel which wasn't fully attached. But once again, no real way of knowing since I wasn't able to replicate the issue. So we were about to go for a drive and test out what the sound was like, if there was any, with this back panel removed. But the second that I fired it up, it actually recreated the noise. And Mark seems to think it's actually these forged carbon panels on the back here.
I bet on it, that's how.
You're betting on it? How much?
Yeah.
20 bucks?
$20,000
bet.
Oreo, yeah, we're betting Oreo shakes on this.
I'm down. All right, we're gonna try starting it up again without that panel on the back. Sounded like it wasn't there. This could be the fix right here. Felt. Right behind the Zeus clamps. So now that the Zeus fasteners have been feltified, it makes it quite a bit more challenging to actually pop them back on. The proper technique before was to use a quarter to actually close the fastener. Well, not actually, there's a really expensive snap-on tool that does the same thing as a quarter, so you might as well just use it, but now the quarter might not work anymore, but I'm hoping this is gonna solve the rattles. So unfortunately, this Gallardo here provides a perfect example of why when you have a check oil level light or low oil level, you got to check it. So this car was run with the low oil level light on for way too long, and eventually the rod bearings actually exploded, and now this car had to get the entire engine removed, new pistons, a bunch of new components, and yeah, it's a super expensive fix that could be easily prevented. It's cool to see the inside of the engine bay of a Gallardo though, with no engine in it. Fully restoring a Countach up here. And over there you can hear that Murcielago making noise. Ooh, kind of cool, quilted leather interior, two-tone. Listen to this beast. Whoa. So Mark just gave me the keys to Brian's awesome Murcielago. We're gonna go ahead and start it up because he's saying that this thing is stupid loud. Let's see what it sounds like. Same key as what I had on my 2004 Gallardo. It's pretty cool though, the actual door handle is on the top of the door here. Pretty cool diamond stitch leather interior. Ooh, focal sound system, nice. I love the way the tachometers look on these Murcielagos. So mean, so Lamborghini. Oh, we also had diamond stitching on the headliner. All right, let's start this bad boy up. Listen to that. Yep, that's epic. So we got some cool stuff over at Dirty Devil Customs, right over here. This thing is on airbags, and apparently these wheels are like 60 pounds each. They're solid pieces of steel. And then that car used to be on overhauling. Pretty funny. I used to watch overhauling all the time. Woo! That's crazy.
Ferrari.
Oh my gosh. Just in case you didn't know it was a Ferrari. Is it dual amplifiers?
Yeah.
How many watts is this?
Oh, it was done by Allen Ed's. They killed it on this.
Really?
Yeah.
This is actually a really clean FF. All the carbon fiber, crazy wheels, and then on the inside, Avant-Garde Exotics literally did all of this carbon fiber interior work, because you imagine how much Ferrari charges for that. Looks just as good, if not better. They've even got some red carbon fiber weave in here. That's way cool. I need to do a review of an FF. I'm really not a fan of the way the rear of it looks, although with the modifications this car has on it, it looks a heck of a lot better, but I'm sure it is a good car to drive. First all-wheel drive Ferrari ever. Crazy advanced system. Well, the forged carbon panels are back in now after a interesting juggling match. It's a lot harder to get those in once you have the felt Zeus attachments, but let's see. It's a tiny bit.
I didn't hear nothing.
Yeah, let me try again. watch and see if it makes a noise. It does appear after all that, it wasn't actually the forged carbon piece. It's some rattle down there by the, where is it at?
It's back here yet, I'm not sure yet. We're getting there. I can do it again.
This is super safe because I have to accelerate in order for it to make the noise, but of course.
It's alright, I'm holding on. It's mine, it's in the speaker. It's like the speaker's loose.
Like I had initially anticipated, it might actually be related to the seatbelt.
Which I think might be the reason why we don't hear it when we just sit here revving it, because the seatbelt's not retracted.
Oh, interesting. CSI Huracan Edition.
Yep.
Ooh. All right, Mr. Seatbelt, come on.
It'd help if the retractor wasn't locked.
Yeah, that'll make it difficult. Whoa, C-section, seatbelt style. It's a boy. And that is how you remove a seatbelt from a Huracan, which definitely don't do that for any reason.
That was totally the dirty way of doing it, but
Hey, it's a way to remove the seatbelt.
We totally learned to cheat. There's a hack.
Apparently the correct way, or another way of doing it, takes a lot longer.
Yeah, the whole panel.
Every panel has to come off, of course.
At least we learn all the cheats on your car.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So Ellie's so good to us.
Ooh, nice carbon action here. Oh, up there too.
Yeah, the whole monocoque. It's pretty.
Well, even with the seatbelt out, it was still rattling. Gonna take some additional panels off. This is a ridiculous operation just to solve a couple rattles. This is hilarious. This has been an interesting day. I thought it was gonna be a super easy fix. Well, it turns out it is super difficult to find out the source of the rattle. I'm gonna take this M3 to go get some drinks. I love driving this thing, any excuse I can get. Power! All set, and we get to play with these. Whoa, that came out violently. Okay, all right.
Meanwhile.
Okay, so Parker's gone, and what we wanted to say is we know exactly what's making the noise, but we had to wait for him to go to the liquor store before we actually fixed it, so we could charge him a lot of money to fix it, because it's really just this one tiny little bolt that's loose, but shh, don't tell anybody.
And just like that, we're back. Let's see if they made any progress.
The navigation system and then the central fuse boxes and everything that are on the car.
And it was loose, or?
No, it's just tricky to mount this thing, but all this had to be taken off so that the fuel head underneath here
Gotcha.
could be accessed and done it. So if you don't play with it and make sure that everything's sit down, it has about 10 different bolts to mount on. And you know, if you tighten the first one up and then try to run all 10 of them tight, then it tends to kind of torque it and tweak it a little bit.
Yep.
So you just kind of work it down flat in that way, because it's just aluminum anyway, so make sure it sits flat on the monocoque and then you're good.
And the truth.
Take 4.
Alright, nothing so far. Seeming promising. Well, after a long day, they finally fixed the problem. It was that bracket that holds in the cassette player and all of the electronics, and also what they had to mess with to do the fuel pump mod. But the car is good as new. Take it out for a drive. It was all good, no noises. Thank you so much, dude. This is a long, awkward, like, there we go.
Always thanks.
Sweet. So before I leave, I gotta clear the airbag fault because something was disconnected back there in regards to the seatbelt, and now I get to see everything that's been wrong with my car recently, which hopefully is nothing. The official Lamborghini computer that comes on this crappy laptop.
Yeah, it's kind of a good thing though to have like a robust laptop.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know, we like to drive around with them on the roof of the car and they skid off. And
Yeah, this is kind of cool. Did you stick that on there, or it came like that?
Sanctioned deal. We're legit, bro. We're legit. Oh, 3 engine control module faults. What say you? What's your bet? 4 brake system faults.
Oh no.
Oh, sniz app.
It's a parking brake for sure, dude.
Parking brake, 100%. Yeah, it's got one. Airbag, 2. That might be me creative. Just saying. Yeah. You know, make an omelet, you gotta break some eggs, you know?
Get the launch control.
Does it have a launch control counter?
Yeah, it goes all over.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Recollects it.
I gotta see the launch control amount.
Driver's belt force limiter, left seat belt tensioner, igniter. That was me. Haldex clutch temperature. Driving dynamic sensors. That's basically don't park it on the...
Yeah, on the
the
bank
super
at
speedway.
Daytona.
Yeah, that's what that one's from.
Thankfully, nothing wrong. Oh, she is back to her full glory. I can finally listen to that beautiful V10 without rattling noises. I love it. Oh, those pops. Back at the crib, special thanks again to Avant-Garde Exotics. The sound is completely gone. Makes it such a better driving experience not having to worry about that dumb rattle when I'm just trying to hear the sound of that beautiful V10. Let's go inside, shall we? For those of you who didn't see, SpaceX launched their new Falcon Heavy rocket up into outer space. Now that's not car related, why am I talking about that? Well, Elon Musk decided that you don't just launch a rocket into space, let's make it spectacular. He actually put his very own first generation Tesla Roadster in the top of one of his rockets, launched it into space, and then the Tesla Roadster exited from the rocket with the destination being an orbit around Mars. And he actually did it. That's right, there is a Tesla Roadster out there right now in outer space. And if the calculations are correct, it's going to orbit deep into space for 1 billion years. And the crazy part is this is actually Elon Musk's personal Tesla Roadster. I'm sure he's doing plenty fine with money, so sending his Tesla Roadster up there was probably not that big of a deal for him. But I gotta throw some pictures or videos up on the screen right now because who else launches a car into space with a camera attached to it and an astronaut in the driver's seat, obviously a fake astronaut, it's a dummy, blasting Space Odyssey for the world to see. That is just so dang cool. Well guys, I think that is a perfect place to end the video. I hope you enjoyed today's upload. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. Turn that notification bell on. I'm praying the E63 will come any day now. I look forward to seeing you all next video.